Everybody, and thanks for joining this session, Seeding Success with Digital Innovation. I'm going to get a quick show of hands to begin with. It's about artificial intelligence. Who's terrified of AI, artificial intelligence? No one's terrified. That's good. So who's excited? People are excited. Great. That's a good response. I actually used artificial intelligence to help me prepare for today's question. So there you go. I'm Will Salter. I'm the global head of the Seeker Institute with Syngenta. I've recently just moved here to Europe in the last 6 weeks or so. I've spent the last 5 years in Singapore, and you may be able to tell from my accent I'm Australian. My British colleagues would tell you that my English isn't very good, so I apologise up front for that. I've had that feedback, if you like. But luckily, most of the talking is going to be done by our expert today, Andreas Lankow, who has a beautiful speaking voice, by the way, as well.
No.
Now, Andreas is our portfolio head of agricultural solutions for Europe. He's a self-confessed data nerd, and we're going to find out what that means. He has a history in seeds and commercial roles with different companies in the industry, and he's going to share an exciting view on how data is helping to drive smarter solutions and productivity on farming systems. So, Andreas, what have I missed in the introduction here? What gives you the credibility to be sitting here with us today?
I think you mentioned the two most important items. One is I'm really a data nerd. Yeah, I'm addicted by data, and the people know me that I spend a lot of time utilizing data actually myself. But there's another reason why I'm here, and that's that I spent the last 26 years in the seeds industry, and I also feel that seeds is part of my DNA. So actually, the first day ever when I joined the industry was in a warehouse packing bags of corn seeds. Then I was 18 years when I started, so 26 years in my career, and seeds is a big part of my DNA.
That was pre-digital. obviously. Okay, and the words innovation, data get thrown around a lot. What do we actually mean by data, and why is it important?
The way I see it, and I hope everyone agrees, that if you try to innovate today to bringing new solutions, new technology that supports growers, imagining this without a solid data fundament and without having data utilized to identify what are the pain points and how to solve them for growers, I believe everyone agrees that this is not something that we ever can imagine, specifically in the times of AI, where data become even more prominent and necessary. And when I look on data in agriculture, it's of course the data that we capture on farm. These data really help enabling new technologies like precision farming solutions. Without having the solid data fundament, this new technology wouldn't be possible. And I use this map here a lot in former presentations, and I'm really proud on that map. What you see, and I hope also the audience here can see it, every green dot on that map is representing a trial location, a Syngenta trial location across Europe. And if you see the density of these dots, you realize these are more than 150,000 trial locations where Syngenta experimented, tested products across different environments and across different management practice all around Europe. And yeah, this data set makes me very proud, and it's actually a huge value in that data for agriculture in general. Yeah. So
and it does look impressive. What type of data are we actually collecting here? What are we talking about?
On all of these locations, we track and experiment with our products and test how they perform in different environmental conditions, in different farm management practice. And you see that it's across from the east to the west, from the north to the south. So we capture the performance of our products not just in, let's say, isolation. We really try to understand how they perform in different stress conditions, in different climatic conditions, in different soil textures. So each of these trials enables us to not just understand the product performance, but also the farm environment, the pain points that growers need to deal with, the yield levels, the stress events, the pest pressure in the different locations. And we have more and more digitalized all of these trials completely. So we call them georeferenced on-farm trials, where we have a lot of data layers. We start with soil sensing technology. So InterraScan is a technology we utilize within Syngenta to really map out every individual field, understanding soil texture, pH, and a lot of other soil attributes. And then we use drones and a lot of other sensors to capture even more data on all of these trials. So if you just take every individual trial location, the data points we collect on that location is, I'm talking about gigabytes. So each of these location represents a huge amount of insights, and yeah, I'm actually grateful to be enabled to work with all of this information to build innovative solutions for growers based on that data fundament. So,
and you're a data nerd, but 150,000 sites with gigabytes at each site. You can't possibly love data that much that you wade through it all to create these insights.
Oh no, and that's a good point, because actually the amount of data no expert, no agronomist can review and compute all of this information to find a common sense and trying to understand the patterns in that data. So that's where AI and machine learning techniques play a critical role. Data science, you know. And within Syngenta, we have a huge community of data scientists helping us to compute all of this information and creating what we call a digital twin of our products. And this is the only way for a grower when he has its own data generated on a farm. It requires modern algorithms to compute this information to make this data actionable. So, and this is where companies like Syngenta, we bring a big benefit by enabling this processing of this information and this knowledge base and trying to convert it into something actionable for the grower.
Okay. You use the term there, digital twin. Has anyone heard of a digital twin before? Know what a digital twin is? I do not know what that is. You do? Okay. To me, it sounds like a robot version of myself or something. I assume it's not that.
Yeah, but it's getting close.
Okay.
A digital twin is nothing more than, let's say, a virtual copy of the product that you are selling. It can be a seeds variety, it can be something different, but you need to understand how this product, and let's take this seeds variety as an example, how it responds in different environmental conditions. How does this product respond to different seed densities, as an example, or how it responds in different soil structures, soil textures. And this so-called response model, trying to understand and enables you to predict the yield of a product within this different management practice, within these different environmental conditions. And if you combine all of this and you create a model around it, this is what we call a digital twin. The digital twin enables us for every seed's genetic to predict how it will perform within different environmental conditions or in different management practice.
Okay.
And a good example is actually what you see here on that chart. It illustrates how we use data. And I mentioned before, we have this huge Syngenta trial network around the globe, and in this little scatter plot you see in the middle, this chart with a lot of tiny dots. This is representing the yield results of one seeds variety in all kind of different stress environments, in different soil conditions, and in a different fertility or in a different fertilizer management or nutrition management. What you see is there's a huge variation in yield, right? And machine learning helps us to find the pattern in this variation. And then it allows us to build, and this is what you see in the third chart next to it, you see the response of that genetic, how it reacts on different seed densities. So it allows us to find the optimum. We are able, based on that data, then to make recommendations to every grower, specifically for the individual variety, what is the optimal seed density for his specific field, for his yield conditions on his farm.
Okay.
And that is what a digital twin is all about, helping us to make a better advice, how to utilize, how to be successful with our products.
Okay. Yeah, so let's put our boots on, get on farm, and help us understand how this works in practice. Yeah.
Good. Let's take one example of first before we go there. You need to know that growers, meanwhile, have huge amount of data they collect themselves. That comes with the new machinery equipment that they introduce on their farms. They have more and more sensor technology. It started all with weather stations, soil sensors. They have more advanced sensor technology available, and they capture all of this information. But having this data doesn't mean that it's actionable for them. Mm-hmm. They may have a lot of situations where they may have the ability to measure yield, for example, but they don't understand why in this specific part of my field the yield was dropping compared to the rest of the field. And that brings me to that example. Yeah, you mentioned put our foods on the ground, and what you see here is a typical example where farmers reach out to us and say, look, I experienced, and this year is a field in soybeans in Latin America, where they identified in a big part of my field, I had a huge yield drop, and I don't understand why. The field was performing all the years before, and now accidentally I was seeing that drop. So we reached out with our soil mapping technology. We were mapping all the different soil layers and identified the shifts in soil texture. So the root cause of that yield drop in that specific example were the herbicide treatments that the grower applied in the pre-crop. And due to the different soil texture, he was facing residuals in the soil that were harming then the next crop.
Phytotox.
Yes, correct. And that was the diagnosis we gone through together. So we utilized sensor technology to identify the potential root cause. We explained it to the grower, and then we are using precision farming solutions to create a prescription, so to avoid that next year the grower would face the same. Mm-hmm. So we helped him adjusting his dose rate for the herbicide application, depending on the soil texture within the field. Mm-hmm. That's what you see in the second image here. We created a prescription, that's how we call it. And then he is able to utilize this in a more precision way to avoid that he will face the same harm in the next crop cycle. Mm-hmm. So that's a very practical example. But yeah, we are going even one step further now, and you are aware there's technology on the horizon with optical spot spray technologies, where we can identify weeds on the fly. So meaning when we are running through the field and applying only what's necessary in these circumstances. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's a very practical example how we help using all of this sensor data technology to help grower addressing pain points that they have in their fields.
Yeah, I guess what's not showing here, but is the logical next step is we're able to come back after the application to measure how the prescription addressed the diagnosis.
Yeah, and that it's a good hint. What we realized is the technology is evolving faster than growers actually adapt to it or can adapt. And there's a reason. Growers need to understand, they first need to see the benefits of a technology within their fields. And that's where companies like Syngenta play a critical role in helping growers to onboard to this technology. And there's a very simple way to do that. And this is just by demonstrating the value. We have an approach which we apply for all of our precision farming solutions, where we embed in every prescription. Remember the variable rate application, we call it a prescription. In every of the zones of a field, we are embedding validation blocks. Validation blocks is a 20 by 20 meter block where we experiment, where we compare the grower standard, so what he typically would utilize as an application, with our recommendation. And these validation blocks then help in the end of the year, when he is measuring yield with the yield maps he is generating. We can easily compare and demonstrate that yield gain that he was getting from applying our recommendation compared to the standard he would apply normally. And in addition, all this data we are generating on that farm are also helping us to further fine-tune the digital twin. Yeah. So each time we generate on-farm data, We can compare how the products performed in different treatments and different managements. It will help us to make these digital twins even more accurate over time.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, it's continuous improvement.
Yeah, it's a
using
continuous improvement.
Pharma data and yeah. And okay, so what happens next? What can this audience take away from today?
I think for me, important, the data is a critical fundament. We need to secure that all the science community is capturing solid data fundamentals to feed the technology of the future. And if you take AI, it's a big hype. Everyone is aware of ChatGPT and Gemini and other solutions that are around. And I come across quite often the question, how in agriculture can we utilize large language models for our purpose? And I see here two options actually. One is growers do not have the time to spend a lot of time and energy actually with a farm management software. With this, they are not data scientists. They are not data nerds like I am. Yeah? So they need to interact with data in a different way. And large language models offer a solution for that. So in Syngenta, we are just connecting a large language model with all the digital twins, with the models and the context, that's how we call it, of our products and the different models that we are building. So to enabling a situation where the grower can just ask a question to his chatbot, to his ChatGPT kind of bot, and the bot would run in the background all these predictive models for the grower. So the large language model interacts with this big data, but it's providing then the grower the information he's looking for in advice, a simple actionable advice. So this is where AI helps us to bring all the data, all the competency in an easy way to the grower, that they can utilize it. And the most simple way is just by using your voice or using a prompt and asking a question.
Yeah.
So this is where we see the future is going. And there's another element where I feel that large language models will help a lot. And you are all aware, growers around the world need to document more and more how they operate, what they apply on their fields. And this documentation is also a pain point for the grower. They don't want to fill out all these forms, and they don't want to capture data. So AI can help to make that bridge. Because I was just 2 weeks ago driving with one of my friends on his farm, and he told me that, Andreas, I'm spending hours and hours in my tractor, during planting or during an application. And this time I spend on social media. But I would love to spend that time talking just to an AI and explaining him, okay, I did this, I did that. Can you please document it for me in a proper way so that I'm compliant? So and that is a direction in which we are going, that we make the data collection easier for everyone. And we make the access to data easier via using these large language models. Mm-hmm. I think that is...
And I guess consequence for companies like ours, partners that we work with, is we go from much more of a product sales focus to a more agronomic value add, diagnosing, prescribing solutions and being able to give a holistic agronomic service on farm with the support of this data and the insights from the tools that
absolutely. We as Syngenta, we have a high interest that all our customers succeed with our products. But we know that in an environment, uncertain conditions, products perform differently in different conditions. So that's where we have a high interest to make proper recommendations farm by farm, or actually I would say field by field, to secure the success of our customers with our products, with our solutions. And this is where the trend is moving towards. You cannot just provide a product without a guide. You need to have a very prescriptive guide how to utilize your solution and to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And data and innovation like AI helps us to provide this guidance to succeed with our products.
And so then we're getting the right product or solution at the right dose, in the right place, at the right time, which is better for farmers, for environment, for society, and so on.
Yes, and it's all meant to drive the sustainability of the farm, and sustainability in all aspects, meaning also financially sustainable, securing that we have only the environmental footprint that is necessary to produce. So without data, and particular without big data, I have struggled to see a future to further improve. So that's why data are so critical to me, and I enjoy my every day working in Syngenta, having that ability to work within that space, working with the information, the knowledge base, and converting this into innovative solution for growers. So
great. Well, thanks, Andreas. That feels like a good place to wind it up.
Yeah.
For me, you've helped me feel like AI maybe isn't so terrifying after all. Most of the audience feel like they're ready to embrace it as well. And look, anyone who'd like to talk to Andreas or know more about what Syngenta's doing in this space, there's a big booth over the wall there. Please drop in and visit us anytime. Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
And thank you all.